A reading from the book of the prophet Ezekiel. A spirit entered into me and set me on my feet, and I heard one speaking to me, "Son of man, I am sending you to the children of Israel, to a nation of rebels who have rebelled against me. They and their ancestors have transgressed against me to this very day. The descendants are impudent and stubborn. I am sending you to them, and you shall say to them, 'Thus says the Lord God,' whether they hear or refuse to hear, for they are a rebellious house. They shall know that there has been a prophet among them." The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
A reading from the second letter of Paul to the Corinthians. Brothers and sisters, considering the exceptional character of the revelations, to keep me from being too elated, a thorn was given me in the flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me, to keep me from being too elated. 3 times I appealed to the Lord about this, that it would leave me, but he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for power is made perfect in weakness. So I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may dwell in me. Therefore I am content with weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, calamities for the sake of Christ. For whenever I am weak, then I am strong." The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus came to his hometown, and his disciples followed him. On the Sabbath, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many who heard him were astounded. They said, "Where did this man get all this? What is this wisdom that has been given to him? What deeds of power are being done by his hands? Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary, and brother of James and Joseph and Judas and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us?" And they took offense at him. Then Jesus said to them, "A prophet is not without honor, except in his hometown and among his own kin and in his own house." And Jesus could do no deed of power there, except that he laid his hands on a few sick people and cured them. And Jesus was amazed at their unbelief. Then he went about among the villages teaching. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Where do you think people get hurt mostly? I'm asking about hurts and wounds in the heart. It is where you spend most of your time. It is within the closest relationships we share in our life. Then where do you spend most of your time? And which are your closest relationships? Today's gospel describes how the townspeople of Nazareth, where Jesus grew up, treated Jesus. They knew Jesus since he was very young. Probably many of them knew Jesus personally, but they did not recognize him as the Messiah. Instead, they took offense at him. They despised him as the son of the poor carpenter. What would Jesus feel? The gospel relates that Jesus was amazed at their unbelief. He probably got upset, distressed, and hurt in his heart. Many husbands and wives no longer find joy in their homes because their spouses do not recognize them as the most precious persons in their life, but treat them worse than a passerby. I hope that all couples see each other as another Jesus, but how many of us treat our spouses with the utmost care and gentleness? What about our parents? We take their love for granted. Do we recognize their sacrifices and love for us and try to give back their life? What about our children? Do you see Jesus in them, or do we want to control them? When we are baptized, we become like Christ. That is why we are called Christians. Then we want to see Christ in each other, and we should care for them like Jesus. But it is easier to be respectful to those we are not so familiar with. But as the saying goes, Familiarity brings contempt. We are likely to think we know all about our spouses, parents, and children, and we regard them as if they will be around us forever. So often we speak to them as if our words cannot hurt them. We take too many things for granted about our closest relationships. Day by day, despite not a huge blow, we jab each other, and eventually it hurts a lot. The Son of God could not do much for his townspeople who had little faith in him. When we keep hurting each other in our closest relationships, can we expect peace and joy even if we go to church every day? If we do not forgive in our closest relationships, can we find true forgiveness in the confessional? Christ is not far away. His healing is close by, and his miracles are in our families.